Hello and welcome to Bull Bear Trader. Today I'm going to go through 12 stocks that will report tomorrow. Alright, so first I will go with CIEN Corporation. Well, you can see last earning, I say more chance of a pullback due to overbought condition, and we got like a reversal candle, so it went down to all the way to 71 something before closing around 73, and after that it's actually rally, pull back a little bit, rally, pull back, rally. Now what's next? All right, so if we move it up here, look like we got a top, the resistance up here. Now if I draw the short-term trend, it's gonna look like this. And this. So short term is a little bit overbought, long term overbought. So a pullback is expected. So 60% of a pullback. And I would say the next level pullback is 83. 40% of a bounce. And this time, if it does bounce, we might hit probably 102. At about 40%. Okay, I don't see anything else. Move on to VinFast. All right, so if we look at the stock, wow, it was about $10, went up to almost 90, 93, go back, and now it's like what, $3 in then? Wow. So over so short and a little bit long term. So now let's look at the trend. Okay. Okay. Well, so look like we got a wedge, and you know what? Let me zoom in a little bit better. Okay. All right. So in a way, we got something like this. Okay. So look like we got a wedge going on, right? So probably here. So it's been bouncing between the orange line, broke below a little bit, coming back to test over so short term. So maybe there will be a bounce back to like 350, and I say about 55–60%. So not much going on. The range is really small here. A pullback would be around 325 at about 40%, 45%. You get 3/4 and 3.5. Okay, not much. Um, but it might come back here and maybe shooting higher if the number coming better to maybe 360 or 370 or even 3 3/4. Okay, so we don't know, but most likely we'll hit 350 if just with a decent number and outlook. Next we have Toro Company. Haven't seen this one. Short term and long term are overbought. And we got like reversal signal here after a gap up. So now it's slowly trending down. If we drawing the trend line, so it will look something like this. So it gap up, broke out of the trend resistance, coming back to test. So maybe there will be a bounce. But if it bounces, I would say it will come up to 85, 84.5 at about 40% to 45%. Why? Because usually when it come back, it will more chance of a bounce. So instead of giving it 40%, I think it might be 45%. $84. All right. If the number is not meeting expectation, might come down to 73. Right. Let me see anything else that I see here. Okay, so looks like recently it's been sold off a lot. It bounced a little bit from the low, but that's it. Not much going on. So we have to see what's tomorrow gonna bring. It still has a lot of space to move up, but it need good number. Brady Corporation. Look like, wow, what a candle here. Short term is overbought, long term overbought. So it looks like we are testing this resistance here. So most likely I expect a pullback. If I draw the short trend lines, right, so we have something like this. So what we about this candle right here is acted like a dip and then bounce. So it already did its job of a test and then now bouncing up, but it hitting the ceiling here, the resistance here. So most likely about 60% I expecting a pullback. 74. But if number coming really good at about 35 to 40%, we might see a bounce to probably 81. So more chance of a pullback here. Right, we'll see tomorrow. Broadcom. Last time I expected a pullback, and the pullback to 240, no, right here, 247 and not 236. So I was off by about $11. All right, so what's next? Okay, so short term we got a little bit, let's say neutral, long term overbought. So a pullback is expected, and if it does pull back, we will look at 275 at about 60 to 65%. So I expect the pullback here. Otherwise, we may see it making all-time high, like NVIDIA and other tech company, but the AI trends seem to be fading, and even NVIDIA is getting hit because of the Alibaba. They are introducing their new AI chip, and they say they're going to use those instead of NVIDIA due to the ban. So that's why it's been selling off. So maybe Broadcom is going to be the same, selling off as well. And you can see the high and the high, the low and low got it here. So if it pull back here, it will make another low, and it will change the trend. Okay, and if I look here, this looked like a bear flag. All right, so we get more chance of a pullback here, and with a bear flag, I'm thinking probably 65% pullback. Core part been bouncing a little bit in a month, but long term is still oversold a lot, by a lot. All right, if we look here, look like it trying to bounce back, and let's look at the trend. For the high, I'm looking at this. For the low, it's like this. So just today alone, it broke down below the channel support. So we might have a little bit more pullback. If it does, we might see 47. At about 55%. Due to overbought condition, and is broke down from the channel. It might come back up to test though, we don't know, or it might bounce with good number, and we might end up at the top of the channel again, and that is about $50. About 45%, so it's almost 50-50 here. All right, next we have Lululemon. All right, so here's what interesting. I think a couple of weeks back I reviewed Lulu because of Michael Berry. Michael Berry, he added Lulu around June. So I said, okay, maybe here we got to pull back and then bounce, or we bounce. But look like both path was wrong. It popped up a little bit due to the news, and then slowly pulled back and gave all of the gain back. So what next for Lulu? Okay. So let's take these out. Let's draw a quick trend line. All right. This is too little to really count. So we will stick with the previous trend channel. And so basically it's trying to break out of this, and we might actually come back and test this now support at the low right here, which is 186, 187. Okay, so 187. And this I say because of a recent bounce. Maybe we'll see it about 45%, but most likely we have a bounce, and if it does, we might go up to 222. All right, and if it does, it will change the channel trend for the longer term, and we might come up here to test much sooner than we see. So if the short squeeze happen tomorrow, no, tomorrow after hours, so the day after, which is the 5th, which is Friday. If it happened Friday, we might see it got a big short squeeze. It might even go past 222. So we have to keep an eye on this. IOT, short-term overbought, long-term oversold. If we look at the trend, all right, so you can see that. Okay, so this I'm gonna change it. So you can see it trying to break out. Okay. For shorter term, it still kind of the same. If we take from June, it's right on the resistance. And this is the low. Okay, so most likely we have a pullback. So about 60% of pullback to probably 33. And that is basically about 7-8%. So a pullback is about 40%. No, sorry. A pullback is about 60%. A bounce breakout to this level at 39 at about 40%. Still still a good odd, but the number need to be at least decent and outlook need to be at least neutral to positive. GWRE, short term and long term. Long term is actually over. So since April it bounced and then pull back. And look like we are right at this level, which is, I would say, a midterm now resistant. All right, and then if I zoom in on a shorter trend, okay. All right, so look like it's kind of right at both of the resistance, and I do see a bear flag right here. So if I take this out, you can see the bear flag. So most likely about 60 to 65% we have a pullback. Around 202. So 60 to 65%. If the number coming really, really good, we might see it bounce back to 234 at about 35-40%. So about at least 5% to no, about 7% up or down. DOCU CIEN. All right, so last time I expect, because it was overbought here, I expect, and it was trying to, you can see the blue line right here. That was the trend, the channel resistance became support. So I say most likely will come back and test this. And right on the earning, it went down to 75. After that, bounced a little bit, but you know, bouncing, I mean, moving sideways. All right. And still, you can see it's still testing the blue line here. All right. So what's next? Okay. So if I draw the trend line, yeah, so something like this. No, all right. Let me take this out for now. Make it easy to see. The trend is actually, yeah, right here like this. Okay. So again, it's a little bit overbought short term and oversold long term. All right, so this make it hard because in a way it might have a chance to break out if the number is good. So a pullback, I would say pullback to here again to probably 67. At about 40% only. Okay. Because it had been selling a lot in last year. But we compared back, it's still okay, not too high, but oh wait, no. If we compare all the way to 918 until now, it's barely moved. And then for the past year and a half, about past year, is still moved sideways a little bit up. Okay, so still I'm seeing 40% of a pullback, 60% of a bounce. If the number coming good, and this time we might close the gap here at 85. And after that, it might trend higher. So what happened is it need to, well, first it need to move higher and make a low and then make another high higher than this high. So we have to see how it is. But it has only 60%, right? Still a little bit more chance of a bounce. But it really depends on the outlook instead of the number. The number is, as long as it's just decent, outlook has to be positive, then it will bounce. All right, next we have Service Titan. Looks like it's a new company. Since IPO about the same. Short term and long term. Long term is a little bit oversold. Short term is neutral. But I do see it looks like a bear flag here. Okay, so, and then plus we got the gap down, and then this is like a doji. So if it's pulled back, it will be around 94. If it bounce, we might see it come up to 111. So a bounce, I would say about 40%, a pullback 60%. Let's see. If I draw the trend line here, you can see 111 hit exactly the resistance here. So we will see how it is. But if it bounces due to good number and outlook, we might see 111. UI path. Short term, a little bit neutral. Long term, oversold. Wow. Wow. is like at the bottom. So if I draw a line right here, this is the major support. Now I zoom in around here, so you can see that it is, so it went here, came up, pull back, rally, sideways, and then pull back to around $10.50, and then recently is trading up a little bit, but they got a bear flag here. Show me bear flag. So if the number is not good, it might come down to, let's say, $10. And I say about 40%. Normally without this bear flag, I would say about 30-35%. But because bear flag, it's increased a little bit. A bounce would be 60% to probably here at $12.50. So I put $12. So we talk about 10% up or down, but more up, probably like 4%, 11 to 12%. So it really depends on the outlook here, and I'm not sure what it does, but okay. But if I look at the graph, I would say more chance of a bounce than pullback, but we'll see. All right, thanks everybody. Please hit a like, share, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video.